We walked past that podium stage letting Espernard know exactly what's up. We said, today was your day. I get the rest of the week.
Into 4 left long of a jump, opens long.
I have faith going into next weekend.
6 left, extra long.
There was the one that I was talking about, one of the only places that I think is harder than Australia.
50.
And that's where we're going next. I hate it here. Hello everyone, CD Racing, and welcome in for episode 18 of our Dirt Rally 2 career mode playthrough. Now, last episode out, a decent start to our Group A adventure. The difficulty has been cranked up what seems exponentially, and we are definitely going to have to lock in if we want the season to be anything close to successful. But as you saw from a brief snippet, this one isn't the one to use as an example. But going in, I knew things were getting difficult, and I saw just how ridiculous the repair times were last time out. So in the background right now, you will see every single one of our engineers is getting a quick crash course in four-wheel drive knowledge before we go into this rally, because repair times last time really crippled us. Could have been the difference between first and second, engine turbo damage. That does make your car slower. But before we get into it, let's take a look at the damage from last time out so y'all can understand why I panicked. Lots of leftover damage, and we may have infinite time, but that is $50,000 just to get the car ready to start another rally. My lord, these Group A cars are very expensive, and component durability is something that is probably going to be necessary going forward. We're going to go ahead and get suspension durability. Greece is a notoriously bumpy rally, so locking into the best of our ability, let's get out to stage. All right, let's see what we're working with. So first stage going out, 6.64 miles of pure canyon side chaos. Go ahead and look visually at the stages that we will be tackling. A mixture of tight forest sections, canyon roads that are tighter than anyone should be attempting to drive quickly on, and lots of rocks. It's a wonderful place, trust me. Looking over the weekend in the background, a couple things to take note of in Greece, being serious. Lots of elevation changes. You are basically doing an uphill or a downhill the entire time you were here, and you really have to remember that when it comes to your braking zones or, beneficial braking zones. On uphill areas, you can brake way later because gravity's on your side. And another thing to think of, lots of very tight sectors. I'm sure you can see from these stage maps, you have a lot of subsequent hairpin sections. You're basically just going down a mountain, like I said. So lots to look out for. We're going to go ahead and throw on the soft tires for this sector, and let's see how we do in the shakedown. Almost an immediate load in here. Holding very light revs, we're just going to go ahead and get used to the rally at almost too soft of a launch. We weren't even in the boost when we dumped that clutch, and we went nowhere. So going into the first attempt, this is actually probably one of the wider roads we will encounter over the entire weekend. And I know that sounds insane, but yeah, Greece is a very narrow rally, surrounded by cliffs the entire time. You really have to watch your angle going into a lot of these corners, because you can hit all of these rocks, all of these little cliffs on the outside. You have to watch for it. And something that will catch us out a lot this weekend is you're going to hear a lot of 5 calls or 6 calls that you still have to slow down for, and that is heavy impact and a flat tire in the very first stage. Obviously sets a great tone for how this rally is going to go. And as we just kind of slowly walk of shame our way back to the finishing line for just the shakedown, mechanics already have something on their hands this weekend, and trust me, they are going to be working double overtime over the course of this rally. But as we come to the end of the shakedown, great example for just how brutal this rally can be. You are always at risk. One mistake is the difference between a decent time and totaling the car. Can't wait. So let's see how much we already have to pay just to start the rally this weekend. Almost $8,000. So the wallet is going to be hurting quite a bit. Loading into the first actual stage. No commentary, of course. We're just going to go ahead and rock it with you. I'll see you at the end.
Starts 3 right of a crest, opens, keep left of a 60, 5 left. Good luck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 3 right of a crest, opens, keep left over 60, 5 left, 50, keep middle of a jump, 90, 6 right, tightens 3 of a crest. Into 4 left of a crest, 60, keep middle of a crest, 30, 6 left of a crest, 100, 6 left, tightens 5 of a crest, 6 right, 120, keep middle of a jump, slow 90, 1 left. Into 1 right, tightens, 30. Don't cut, 2 left, tightens, 30. 4 right, opens of a crest long, 40. 5 right, into turn, don't cut, 4 left, opens of a crest, 30. 6 right, 6 left long, opens of a crest, 50. 6 right, extra long, past junction, tightens of a jump, slow 50, turn, 3 right long, 50. Keep left of a crest, 30, 6 right, into 4 left long, 30, 3 right, tightens, into 4 left, keep left over 80, 6 left, into narrow, 6 right, don't cut, keep middle over 80, 6 right, into 5 left, into 6 right, don't cut, 100 over bumps, 3 right, opens, 50, turn, unseen, 1 left long, into 6 right of a crest, extra long, tightens 4, into 6 left, 80, 2 right, 80, 2 left, opens long, 60, late 3 right, very long, opens of a crest, 100, 6 left, tightens, keep in of a jump, 100, 3 left, into 5 right, keep middle of a crest, 40, don't cut, 3 left, tightens narrow, 50, 3 right, don't cut, tightens, opens, 120, over bumps and jumps, into 5 right, don't cut, 6 left, extra long, over bumps, 100, over bumps, don't cut, 5 right, into 5 left, tightens narrow, 2, opens 6 long, 30, middle of a jump, 60, 5 right, tightens, into 3 left long, tightens, 50, jump, into 3 right, very long, opens 50, caution, 2 left, very long, tightens, into 6 right, keep middle of a jump, into 6 right, to keep left over 80, caution, 2 right, tightens, don't cut, into 3 left long, opens middle of a crest, 50, 5 right, into early 4 left, opens 100, keep left of a jump, into 2 right, tightens, 80, keep right of a junction, into left of a jump, into 4 left, 40, jump, 50, bumps, 4 left, into 5 right, into 6 left, 50, tight, 4 left, into 4 right, don't cut narrow, into 4 left of a crest, into slow 6 right, middle of a long crest, 50, unseen 2 right, long, opens, 6 left, very long, tighten short 3, 50, keep left of a crest, into 1 right long, tightens, middle of a long crest, into 4 left, and 3 right, don't cut, 6 left, extra long, 70, 3 right, opens, and 6 right, into 6 left, keep right over 220, 4 right, tightens, into 6 left, keep right over 80, 6 left, 50, keep left of a crest, into 5 right long, into 6 left of a crest, tightens 5, into 6 right, into 4 left, tightens over crest, into 6 right, 100, 5 left long, tightens 3, 70, 6 right, and 6 left, extra long, tightens over jump, 70, 5 right, 50, 3 left long, and keep right over 100, 6 left over jump, to keep right over long crest, 5 left, slow 30, 4 right, tightens 2 long, opens 80. 4 right over crest, into 6 left, opens over crest, into 6 right long, tightens, into 5 left, into 6 right, very long over crest, slow 30, turn 1 left. Opens and tightens 3 long over crests, into unseen, 2 right, tightens long. 60. Early 5 left over crest, into 5 right, very long tightens, into short 6 right, 3 left tightens, into 3 right, into 5 left, and 6 right 70, over finish, keep middle of a jump, 80.
All right, so first stage down. Nothing major to note, but goes to showcase just how difficult this rally is. Probably the most difficult you can encounter, at least in Dirt Rally 2. Some might say Monaco's harder. I say shut up.
How did the
Third place over the stage, and sets a decent precedent for what we could be capable of this weekend. If we could go back-to-back podiums, especially on a difficult rally like this, I'll take it. We end up taking 4th overall because as Bernard is leading the championship, he will go after us. So, unfortunately not on the podium off the first stage, but 4th place is not bad, and the margins are thin. So, going into stage 2 with the commentary, let's see how we cope with it. This stage is going to be a little bit shorter. You won't catch me trying to pronounce it, but it is less than 3 miles. So a quick little sprint. Maybe we can show these guys what we're really capable of. Let's see what happens.
Starts, keep left over 60, 3 left, don't cut. Good luck.
All right, our Scott with the leader of 3:01.3. Very quick time here for such a technical stage. Let's see if we can keep up with the pace. As the lights go up, we hold the revs. Not going to keep it anywhere near red line, just soft launches. Be as nice to the car as possible. 3 left, don't cut, so throw it in late and then catch it accordingly. We have a 6 left long turn, sudden unseen tight hairpin right. So slow the car down, yank the handbrake, get it turned around. A little too overzealous on that sin and held the handbrake for way too long and held too much angle going into that corner. And we have already lost probably about half a second in just that corner, and that is how quick things can change in a rally. You really have to be on top of your game the entire time. And as we navigate this long swooping left-hand corner, we have another open hairpin right. Slow the car down, just get your way through the gears, and then throw it in accordingly. And again, a little too shallow on the slowdown there. I could have kept much more speed into that hairpin, but we'll see how we end up coping with it. Going through the rest of the stage here, we have to go down this hill into a 35 left long tightens, 4 over dip with the cliff on our left-hand side. So get the brakes on. Don't really think about the fact that it's a 4 because the terrain does affect how you drive just a little bit. So we're going to watch our speed a little bit. Caution right. Caution 4 right narrows into 3 left. So again, shaving speed, watch the change of directions and just manage it accordingly. Now these all-wheel drive cars in situations like this are incredible. The confidence that you can carry by just throwing it in and then catching it by just steering the other way and flooring it, it makes it a lot easier to cope with these very tight sections, but it is still far from easy. And as we get into the what we'll call the dirt toge section, we have a series of hairpins right in front of us, and we'll see how we tackle them. Ideally, you want to get your speed as low as you can to just slide through the corner and power out as soon as possible. This one right here, slow it down too low, a little too shallow. You see me had to correct the steering wheel multiple times throughout the course of the hairpin. That was too slow of an intro. As we come into this one right here, a little bit of a longer stretch. I'm nervous on the entry. You see me hit the brakes early and then try to get a little mini scanty flick, throw it in, and that time actually missed first gear. I was late to get away because I had in second and the car bogged down. So going into this one, tighter hairpin around the tree, just throw it in and catch it accordingly. A little bit wide on the exit there, so the power was applied too early. And every single time you take these hairpins, you're thinking, how can I do it better? This time, apply the scanty flick, get in nice and low, and then power out as early as possible. And that was probably the best one that we've taken. And then going into the subsequent one, too much speed was taken. We drift way towards the outside and just lose a bunch of speed there. So some were better, some were not, and now we open up back into a traditional stage instead of just hairpins. We're going to see, we heard don't cut, keep right, and we cut and kept to the left. So again, another instance of Greece being an ever-changing rally that you really have to prepare for. And as we continue down the stage, we've got 6 right into crest, into 6 left. So very high-speed moments, but the crest are scary, and my confidence is not there. So I'm hitting the brakes a lot into a 2 right, throw the car in, downshift, power out accordingly, just like that. And that situation right there is when the all-wheel drive cars are really the best. Your ability to just correct your slides and throw it into these corners is awesome. And it is something you actually have to get used to, because you can really just throw these cars into some of these corners. And that's where I'm probably losing a bit of time outside of just genuine technical errors. But at the end of the little dirt toge sprint, a 1.3 second gap over our Scott, meaning we might have won our first stage in Greece. But of course, Espernard is going to go after us, and he always likes to spoil our fun. So let's see what happens.
That felt good, but let's check the times.
Aw, man, whenever Patty doesn't tell us off the rip, that means we lost the stage. Ah, man, almost a 5-second gap to Espernard. This man is on a different level, but we did beat our Scott. So 2nd overall in the stage and 3rd for the event. Not a bad place to be at the end of the first little sector. But first service station, not too much damage done to the car, but it could be a little bit better as it takes forever to load in. And that's why. So after restarting the game 3 times, no exaggeration, we finally get to see stage 3, and first and most importantly, the service station. So quite a bit more damage than I thought we had accrued, but front-end damage, and usually not the biggest deal unless you mess up the radiator and the turbo at the exact same time. And the gearbox, bodywork, brakes, wheel geometry, lights, they are all having a pretty rough time at the moment. We have to figure out what's worth fixing and what's not. Obviously, radiator is going to be the forefront of all upgrades, and everything else is just function over form. So the car is going to look ugly. We fixed all the important things. Definitely make sure to touch on the lights because it's dark outside, and being able to see what you're driving on is pretty nice, believe it or not. So, 2nd stint, 3rd stage. Let's see how we tack.
Starts 100, flat right of a crest jump, 30, 6 left into 6 right of a bump. Good luck.
All right, H. Gonzalez, stage leader with a 417. We know what we have to be. And as the lights go up, so do the revs. Holding very low revs, only 3 grand at the launch. Is enough to get us into the boost and just send it off the line. And we have a little bit of a high-speed section with a very wide road for Greece. It will not be very long-lived, I'll tell you that much right now. But enjoying the extra space while we can. You see me throwing it into these corners sideways, just navigating the best I can. You've got a 5 right over, slow 70, keep left over crest into unseen 2 less. 2 left over crest. That's why I messed up that word there. But ever-changing conditions are really what you have to use here. 4 right, slow 30 into turn 2 right tightens. So watch your angle here. You know you're going to hit a later apex. Just send it in, power out accordingly, just like this. 6 left into 6 right. Still on the wider road here, so we're going to get quite a bit of speed. Might even see 6th gear. But we'll see what happens. We're going to get a little tentative on the inside here. 5 right into early 5 left. We'll see just how early we throw it in this corner. And early indeed. Thought we were going to hit that rock, but no. Always listen to your co-driver. We got an open hairpin left. We're going to try it in 3rd. I don't know why we attempted it in 3rd. Downshift into 2nd. Lost a bunch of momentum. It stayed way too inside over the course of that open hairpin. And probably lost a little bit of time there. Unseen 3 right into 5 left. So shave a little bit of speed. You could throw it in, and you know that this corner is going to be a little bit easier on you. So you keep your momentum up to power out. Now the road is going to narrow up a little bit here. We've got a clip on our right and a guardrail on the left. Not the place you want to be doing 130 miles an hour on a dirt road, but we want to win, so we're going to try it anyways as things get a little sketchy. You see me taking avoiding action to not hit that guardrail. We almost veer towards the cliff, and those are the conditions that you're working with the entire time here in Greece. A little bit of a bump in the road on the left-hand side there almost throws us again towards our right-hand cliff, and you are just right on the edge of hauling ass or smacking a cliff the entire time you're here, and it's a lot. Again, roads are considerably wider than what we're used to over the course of this weekend. We've got a 4 left don't cut because of those gaps on the inside. Not necessarily rocks, just elevations on the edge of the stage there, those little embankments that you see all around us. If you hit those at the wrong angle, your car will go flying. Wink, wink. Keep your eyes open for that later in the weekend. But at the moment, almost a 2-second differential to the current stage leader, which is pretty good for our pace considering how it's gone for most of the weekend. 80 into 4 right into 80, so we've got a little bit of a medium speed corner into a high speed section here, and then 3 left don't cut into 5 right over crest. So watching your speed here, when that open hairpin left comes in, I should have flicked it in a little bit more aggressive. And again, throughout the course of that hairpin, you see me fighting the steering wheel the entire time. you want to avoid that if you can, because not only is it very hard on your tires, but it's obviously not the fastest way to go through these low-speed corners. And you've got plenty of examples here in Greece, a lot of very tight sections. You have 6 lefts and 6 rights, but just the way that the stage is laid out, it could be a skill issue on my end, but I don't feel that there are many corners at all in Greece that you can be flat to the floor in, anything above 4th gear. Even the 6 calls, the road is so narrow, you're probably staying in 5th gear and shaving a little bit of speed just to get it turned in and not hit the wall. And that mental barrier compared to how you usually handle these calls is quite the debilitating factor, I guess you could call it. Now, don't listen to this and look at me having a 3.7 gap and think that things are going okay because I talked about things for a reason, and immediately getting a little overzealous, drifting far too wide there. If anyone can tell me how that happened, I'll give you brownie points in the comments, but a big mistake. Well, maybe not big, just minor damage, probably some undercarriage damage. You got a caution slow into 2 right, very long tighten, so watch your speed into the corner. Make sure you shove that speed understeer all the way through there. Should have gone for a more aggressive flick to get that car really turned in, and did not opt for it, losing us even more time. So, 3.7 second gap, probably going to go down just a little bit towards the end here, as we are now into the much more traditional Greece-looking stage. A very narrow road, cliff on your right side, tight sections, bumps all over the place. This place is insane. I'll talk a lot of smack about it because I'm really not the best here. But those people who can master Greece and do well, I tip my hat to you, because this rally is just absolutely insane. Definitely the one that separates the cowards from the champions, and at the moment we're looking like a happy medium as we cross the finish line. 5.8 second gap over the stage leader. I guess that final sector we were a little bit more confident than the AI, because I thought our gap was going to shrink, and it actually almost doubled. So,
you just did the fastest time in that stage.
Hold up. Hold on now. Fastest time? Like, overall? Oh, look at that. That is actually a 4-second gap. Now, where's... That is a 1:20 penalty for Mr. Espernard. Why? Because he was late leaving the service area. He doesn't have the incredible mechanics that we do, and he took a penalty from repairs due to his car. So now, I think I've got it all figured out. I think I know his secret. He's just like me, for real. He absolutely sends it every time out. Sometimes it doesn't end well, but he accrued quite the penalty over the course of that, and 1:20 is nothing to scoff at.
Starts and 5 right very long, opens into 6 left over jump 80. Good luck.
All right, so big news coming into stage 4. We have a noticeable gap to Espernard now, meaning that we went from thinking that we'd be fighting for another podium, maybe a 2nd place, to potentially the win, with Espernard, you would assume, taken out of contention. So, a stage that we've done before for the No Commentary series, confidence is at an all-time high. Keep right over 50 after this 5 crest that is very deceivingly tight. 3 left, tightens 80 into 3, and then watch your exit on this one because it opens as that call comes in. So you can power out earlier than you think, just get on the power just like this. 4 right extra long, tightens caution 30, turns square right, so downhill 30 meters to get your car slowed down enough to try and make that in, my lord, heavily sideways over that embankment. Definitely some wheel geometry damage taken right there, but still relatively even with the AI at this stage. H. Gonzalez was the stage leader. As far as we go, I think we are not in first place at the moment, so we are not the last one to run. If I'm wrong, I'm sure I'll make fun of myself in post, but 1.2 seconds is a gap to the stage leader, and not the biggest gap, is again, you have to watch his embankments on the side of the stage, because I caught my left-hand tire on that little embankment, and the car almost flipped. So, always on your toes here in Greece. We got a 2 right, very, very long here. Just try and hold your patience on the throttle, and once you see the stage open up, then you can get back on it. All the way into 4th gear here. We're going to opt to go into 5th in the beginning of that corner, which was a mistake. We should have known that we had to flick it in for that subsequent corner, and we lost again. All of these mistakes are just time lost. You're always pushing for perfection in rally, but it's not going to happen unless you've been doing these for a very, very long time. And in these career modes, it's the first time I'm taking the stage in the car. So accidents happen if I can make myself seem a little bit better and then set it up for a nice little scandy flick there so that I can make myself look like a way better driver than I am. But the gap is still growing. 2.5 now the gap to Mr. Gonzalez. And again, it's probably because a little adding of those small mistakes that we have right here. Slow, 2 left over dipped, and to turn 2 right narrow. So Very tight technical section here. Again, one left long, open 6 over jumps. So very tight corner right here. Get it slowed down and then power out for the 6 left into 3 right over crest. So just throw it in aggressively is what you want to do there. But again, with these all-wheel drive cars, when you don't send it in aggressively, it's understeer city and it sucks. Especially when there's an open cliff on your left-hand side that you don't want to fall down. So 6 right into 5 right, 60 into open hairpin left. Slow the car down to the best of your abilities. Actually did a little bit of a love tap with the trunk on that guardrail, but it slows down the car enough for us to power out. And we had lost enough momentum for it not to be a genuine wreck. So, second subsequent hairpin, taking a little bit better, opting to take that one in second gear. It worked out a little bit better for us. 4 right, don't cut, into 4 left, long, don't cut. So again, rocks on the insides, cliffs on your left sides. You gotta watch everything and stay on the stage. And again, we have to listen to those don't cut calls because you see, I have to throw the wheel to the right and send the car back in the middle of the stage just to avoid that cliff. And if I had just listened to the don't cut call, that's, 1, maybe 2/10 of a second every corner that I'm saving. And that open hairpin right there, opting for the aggressive send in. It looks cool, but it's a little harder on the tires and it's not the fastest way to do it. 5 right into open hairpin left. Watch it here. 5 right sets you up to angle yourself to the right and then flick it into the left. It goes really well if you get your shifts right, but it took me a little long to get into first there for some reason. It's not like this is an actual car and every shifter is different. I wish I could use that excuse, but for some reason, I just keep missing first gear. You can, again, mark that up to a CD Racing might be, but unseen open hairpin right one more time over this weekend. Going in angle to the right, not going to be able to hit a Scandi flick, so we just grab some handbrake, further enforce our angle, and 1.8 seconds is the gap to the stage leader. Not bad. A little bit better gap to R. Scott, which I believe is the person closest to us in the actual event timings, but we'll see right here at the end. All right, so besides the marshals apparently being on incredibly strong hallucinogens, pretty solid stage from us, to say the least. Third place over the stage. Of course, Espernar just has to go and blow us out of the water by almost 7 seconds. I swear that guy's cheating. I can't prove it, but he's got something up his sleeve, and I don't know what it is. But higher notes, we are currently leading the rally. Don't worry about the background. I'm just kind of affecting some of the background music. Someone complained that out on stage, P. Mills was a little too loud, and looking back on the recordings, I could see that. So P. Mills' voice, I think since the second stage of this rally, has been turned down by about 25%. So if you guys notice that it's a little more bearable to hear me and the background audio isn't too overwhelming, please let me know, because I'd like to find that nice balance. On the first big stage of the weekend, third stint, minimal damage going into this service section, thankfully, and we've got a lot of repairs, and the brakes and the bodywork, so time consuming, and dampers are obviously more important than the car looking nice. I didn't think about not repairing the car at all. Don't worry about that. But I thought about just taking the penalty, but then I realized the bodywork does nothing for the mechanics of the car. So it'll look a little ugly. Sponsors might not be super happy, but I would rather have a car that looks ugly and can absorb shocks, especially in Greece, than the opposite. So $12,000, almost 13, down the hole to get this thing ready for stint 3 of this very grueling rally. And we've got a pretty long stint, 6 miles into almost 5 miles, longer than anything we've done up to this point. And the softs are looking a little worn down after that one, so we're going to try out the mediums. First longish stage of the weekend. We'll see exactly how it goes, as we are currently leading the rally by about 8 seconds. So solid place to be right now. Let's see how it goes.
Starts on 5 right, very long. Opens into 6 left over jump, 80. Good luck.
All right, if you thought the first couple stages were rough, this is the first real test of merit. A long stage here in Greece. And you might notice at the start of this stage, we've been here before. And now, we're going to try and tackle it again and go even further this time. We'll see how it goes, and off to the start. We knew that little blind corner gives us the ability to hang on that left-hand side. Almost got a little too overzealous, but like I said, we've played these games before, so we're going to try our best to navigate this stage a little bit faster than last time. Now, the AI typically tends to hold it back just a little bit over the course of these longer stages, which is pretty accurate. If you know you've got a longer stage ahead of you, you dial the pace back just a little bit because, you have a little bit more space to make little mistakes over the course of 2 miles. But over almost 6-7 miles, every corner matters, and you'd rather play it safe than sorry. So what we're going to do is try and match our pace from the last run, maybe just a little bit faster. And I assumed the AI was going to do the same thing. But as you can see from an almost 3-second gap at the end of the first sector, they decided to step it up a little bit, so we have to cope. We've got a 2 right into 6 right, and keep left over 80. So, again, we've done all this before. Tight 2 right. We're going to look at the places that we messed up a little bit last time. For this very long 2 right, we were a little shallow getting back into power. This time, kept in the second gear and tried to get power throughout the entire course of the corner, and you saw me just fighting the steering wheel that entire time. That was not the way to do that. Now this time, learning from our mistakes, instead of upshifting into 5th, we downshifted into 3rd to power out early. And these are the little mistakes, the little moments that you can remember to gain you so much time, because I think that little mistake or mistake correction right there probably gained us about half a second. I know that sounds dramatic, but every single corner, you're really fighting for everything here, guys. So 60, turn 2 right over crest. The gap is now 6 seconds long. I don't know who woke up this morning and decided to put their big boy pants on. Oh, never mind. It's Espernard, of course. So, fighting Espernard and all the other regular humans, we're going to see what we can do here. Coming towards the middle part of the 3rd stint, or sector, I guess. Very tight sector that we've done before. We got that very narrow 1 left into 6 left over dip. So watch your speed through the very tight 1. The 6th corner doesn't really count as anything because you're still gaining speed back from that 1. And now we continue accordingly based on the call. 6 right over dip again. Looks a little bit tighter than a 6 right. Maybe that's just a grease thing, but we're going to continue accordingly. This is a cool section right here. 6 right, tightens 5 into 60, hairpin right. So slow the car down accordingly, power through just like that. Not hitting the trunk on the guardrail this time. Again, improvements on stages that you've driven before. Again, open hairpin. Keep it into 2nd gear because we had enough momentum and we were still in the boost and we were able to power out of that section accordingly. And again, we're just consistently about 3 seconds behind Espernard for every single sector. I don't know what he's doing differently to so consistently be 3 seconds faster than me, but we got to figure it out or cope to the best of our abilities and just get through Greece as unscathed as possible because, my lord, Espernard for these first couple locations, he's on one. We're going to see if the gap continues to grow by 3 at the end of this sector, but this is a section of the stage that is a little deceiving. This 5 right here into the open hairpin, you want so hard to be facing the right to set up for the Scandi flick, but it's an awkward 5, and you see me coming in too shallow though, hitting the embankment on the inside because I took the hairpin too shallow, and that is multiple seconds lost. I'm assuming the gap is not going to be 12, but longer, maybe around 15 as you cross the sector line right here. And, okay, 13.7, so about 4.5 seconds lost over the course of that sector. But again, time lost is time lost, and it was Espernard just clearly running away with it. And I wish I could say that it was just Espernard, but if you look in the top right corner, we are in 9th place, 13 seconds off of everyone. So tight margins, 9th place sounds pretty bad, but 13 seconds isn't the worst gap. Now we are obviously going to try and cut that down over the section that you guys have not seen yet. Turn 2 left over junction into 6 right long over crest. This is the part of the stage that we would have finished at last time we ran in. Again, I said this was extended, so we're now on a little bit of an open cliff section. 6 left into 5 left 30. I am not going to maintain full speed here. I mentioned that briefly earlier. 6 left into 3 right. I would have been carrying much more speed here if this were any other rally, but for Greece, I know these corners are deceiving. They're tight. Again, the second you get too far, hit one of those embankments on the outside, you just unsettle the car. Suspension took quite the heavy hit there. 5 right into tight hairpin left, and we're going to go ahead and lock it in here and see what happens. 4 right into 6 right long over crest. Tightens slow into unseen open hairpin right. So, very tight sector here. We have seen this stage before. You might recognize it, but now we are going uphill. Subsequent hairpins. Let's see how we tackle them going uphill. Braking is going to be a little bit easier. Getting the car slowed down. Braking very late. Dropping the gears. Put it in first. Power out accordingly. A decent example of how to navigate a tight hairpin sector. We're going to see how we do it again. Going a little bit faster. Initiate your Scandi fix. Throw it in with the handbrake. Catch it. A little too aggressive of a flick there. We really had to fight the car there, but again, not bad. And that's what we're going for. Consistency and decent pace so we can just maintain some sort of a good finishing position. Again, going into this hairpin, slow the car down, catch your angle, power out accordingly. Pretty clockwork at this point. But it's consistency over time. I believe in this section we have 5 or 6 hairpins. I'm not going to go back and count, but someone might do it for me. But again, that one, too shallow. You see me having to throw the steering wheel to the left midway through that hairpin because I came in too shallow with too much momentum. If I had continued on that path, I probably would have just driven straight into the embankment. Obviously, no one wants to do that. So, big key takeaways here in Greece is consistency in low-speed sections and listening to the calls as we go over the embankment into a bush, into another bush, into yet again another bush, back onto the stage finally. Yeah, that was complete judgment error. Again, you see the cliff on the right-hand side. We should know mentally, if you're going to risk it, go for the left-hand side. Don't try to go too fast on any sort of left-hander to risk understeering off the track. We did not do that, and now before the stage has even finished, we are 23 seconds behind the stage leader. We've got a little bit of an uphill charge here into a one left, tightens open hairpin left, and we trusted in the uphill. Oh my God. We should not have. Came in way too hot there, going over that dirt section there. Not actually scraping anything, just sending it over the edge of the stage and having to climb back over. But believe it or not, we actually didn't scrape anything there. Just another loss of time. A little bit of a reliever section here. I'm confident in this one right here. High-speed section into the 3 right, into the open hair left. Keep your angle to the right so that you can flick it into the left for that hairpin. Just like that. A little bit of a nice recovery. The fans over here don't know that I'm a bad driver. They saw me do something cool and slam it into a rock right at the end just to really lock it in. Man, I hate this place. 20.9 seconds. Managed to shave almost 3 seconds off the gap in that final sector. So, when we know what we're doing, looks like things go pretty well, but that is a lot of red on that track map.
How did the car feel in that stage? Do you want to make any setup changes at the next service?
Only setup change I'm thinking about making right now is going home. 9th place over that stage, and definitely not the greatest showing from us, but I told you guys it wasn't going to be the best one, and I'm trying to show you guys mistakes as they happen so that you cannot make them. But the biggest note there, we lost our lead at the end of that stage. That is now 2nd place overall in the rally, and S. Bernard's continued domination despite the penalties has seen him already crawl up pretty quick. So stage 6, a shorter one. We'll see how it goes.
Keep left over 100. Good luck.
All right, so R. Scott, 421.5 is the stage leader, and as the lights goes up, so do the revs, holding it right around 3,500, and then flooring it right at the end there. Maximum boost for this takeaway. We saw that we lost 1st place at the end of that last stage, and we realized we got to lock in. 3 left tightens, don't cut narrow, and narrow indeed. This first section is going to be pretty intense as far as the gap that we have between perilous danger and driving the stage we need to. 5 right, don't cut into 6 left. Now again, I've talked on it multiple times here in Greece. You can take these calls as you traditionally would. These 5 rights, these 5 lefts, in any other rally, I'm probably putting it in 5th gear and keeping it foot to the floor. But here in Greece, the margins are so small, both within the competition and just the width of the stage, that I am not taking that risk. And the AI doesn't either. You see, I'm driving this relatively cautious based on the calls coming in, and up until right there, me and the AI were pretty neck and neck. On the left-hand side of the track map there, you're going to see the AI start to pull away just a little bit from that mistake that we made. That is a great live visualizer for how effective some of these corners are. If I take a corner and it looks like I went faster than you, check the track map. The AI will always call my bluff, whether it just looked fast or whether it was actually fast, especially at this new difficulty. And you can see now, half a second is the current gap. So barely off the pace, in 4th place at the moment. 5 right into early 4 left. So flick it in for the 5 right early on the 4 left. Just make sure you don't hit the cliff, and then power out as soon as you can, just like this. We're going to get all the way into 5th gear here. Maybe think about 6 for a second, and yes, we do. Going to use that engine braking to slow the car down for this 2 right, make sure that we have plenty of time, and then get on the gas as early as possible, as much as we're used to at this point. So we've got to jump into 4 left 40. Watch your speed, because the jump's going to unsettle the car to that 4 left, and just like this, we're navigating it okay at the moment. Not like the common theme of this weekend, but 6 left into 50, tight 4 left. So again, early on the brakes, watch your speed here. Look how tight this stage is getting here. You got a cliff on your left, guardrail on the right, and if you don't hit it correctly, it's gonna be pretty bad for you. You got a 2 right long here, slow the car down. And it was a 2 right long. So I threw it in accordingly, but did not expect the corner to carry on as long as it did. You saw me again getting a little too close to the inside of the stage there, and now 1 right long, just get here on the inside. Try not to hit that embankment on the inside, and now I tripped out 2 wide. And again, I've said the stage is narrow, but when you hit those embankments, you flip the car. We're going to now drive over a rock and get back on the stage, and now the gap is almost 8 seconds. So that stage, as we were neck and neck with the AI, we are now at a significant disadvantage. 6 right into 6 left, keep right over 220. So definitely going to get into 6th gear here all the way down the slope back straight into 4 right tightens. So hard on the brakes, 2 downshift, throw it in accordingly, catch it just like that, power out. And you see now, we're upset. Now we're in the high-speed sections of Greece, and we're going to try our absolute hardest to keep up with the pace. Watch that rock on the right-hand side. You see me definitely slow the car down trying to avoid it, and we're going to, again, work with what we've got. 6 right into 4 left into 6 right. So you know, ideally, you can keep decent pace through there, but I didn't slow down enough for the 4 right. Love tapping the guardrail on the right-hand side, almost spinning the car all the way around. We ended up just getting side pace. Downshift all the way, power out accordingly, and now trying to get back on pace. I'm frustrated. It's going to show in the driving. I'm very annoyed. I went into this weekend knowing that I didn't like Greece, so I already went into this with a little bit of sour grapes, and now every mistake I make just feels so much worse because I know I don't like it here. We're driving aggressive. The calls are being heard but not really recognized, and that's going to showcase itself multiple times. Just over the course of this stage, you saw me lose it. Went too sharp on the embankment and rolled the car, then ignored the 4 left, came in too hot. Now sliding through the stage. We'll try our best to get our mental back up, but again, we're already so cooked. You see the stage leader on the left-hand side. That doesn't even count. The person that we're losing to almost getting caught out. Once again, lucky that there aren't any rocks on the left-hand side here. And then we've got a 1 left call coming in. Hit your downshift, throw the car in, power out as early as possible. It has clockwork in these low-speed conditions, but nearing the end of this stage here, it's definitely one to remember. Maybe not for the best of reasons, but, you know, lessons are lessons. We've got 5 left into 5 right, very long tightens, so watch your angle. It's going to tighten up for you. Into 6 right, 3 left tightens. So watch your speed. Flick it in for the 3 left, into 3 right. Again, watch your speed, and we went too narrow. The calls are not being listened to as well as they should right now, and it shows. And an 11.2 second loss. 7th over the course of that stage. And yeah, Greece is just... it's not our rally. We'll put it like that. So, driver right there telling us to slow it down.
The tires are okay.
And the co-driver says that he hopes the tires are okay and well done. Both of those are pretty obviously poor and false statements. The tires are not okay, and neither is the car, and that was not well done. 7th place over the course of that stage. It's Greece, y'all. We're going to try to get better. But going into the next repair station, we were hoping that the pace would improve, but it did not. In fact, it got marginally worse. If you want to know exactly how the last couple stages went.
And 3 right, opens 50.
Yeah, and our car ended up looking something like this towards the end of that little sequence. So things just got worse and worse. And the car never suffered terminal damage, but it was both mechanically and very visibly crippled. And we basically just limped this thing through to the finish line, avoiding any more major accidents, but the pace was gone. And we ended up finishing with a little bit of on-brand flair, sideways entry into a fence post, and just murder the timing board. That's how we sent it out of there. You see me just angrily finding first gear and slouching my way up this hill. 14th place over the course of the last stage of the weekend, 10.67 gap to the stage lead. And that's not even the worst part. That's actually after the people in front of us ran. So, incredibly disappointing end to the scene. On pure pace alone, no penalties, 18th place over that stage. And you caught a glimpse of it, but you'll see it officially here in a couple seconds. That, over the course of the event, is 7th place. Not only sets the record for the lowest we've ever finished an event. We have crashed out of one before, but lowest we've ever finished an event. And obviously very underneath the standards of this channel. $138,000 positive at the end of the weekend means that we are negative for the first time in our career as well as far as monetary gain. So, a little bit of a low note. 2nd place in the first rally, 7th place in Greece. We have to prove that this is not who we are as racers. We know that we're better than this. And Tarmac Rally in Germany, I plan on taking it personal. We are going to show these people exactly what we're capable of and climb back to the top ranks. CD Racing belongs on the top step of the podium and nowhere else. And that is where we plan to stay. Now, at the end of the video, putting this warning out for those of you that made it this far, because I appreciate y'all. Y'all of you that make it all the way to the end of the video, you have a special place in my heart. I'm talking to you directly. And I'm putting this warning at the end because I figured the people that care would still be here. If you've noticed, the upload schedule has been a little lacking. I have not been posting as much as usual. That is not on purpose, but my senior year of college just started and I moved. I no longer live with my parents, made big boy steps in my life, moved out. It's been a pretty chaotic week. So, took a lot of time, missed out on a couple upload dates, got everything ready for y'all so that we can be back on schedule, ready to continue the career, ready to career my academic prowess, but most importantly in my heart, making you guys happy, bringing these videos out for you guys. I love making these videos. I love recording them, and I'm very excited to keep this career mode running. So, thank you so much for stopping by. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to heel toe that like and subscribe combo. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I'm CD Racing, and as always, I will catch you in the next one.